with YouTube, once you're here. And you may remember the previous video I made on the Flash-based web browser for the iPhone, which was called Photon. And recently there was a new update for it, which was version 4.0. Now I skipped to review 3.0, even though it was quite a dramatic improvement, and 4.0 still has that very good performance. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how smooth it is. Now if you want to see the previous review I've done on this, there will be a link in the description. So first I'm just going to pop into the settings. Now because I've got fibre optic broadband and it's nice and quick, I'm going to put the bandwidth all the way up. But if you've got a slower internet connection, you might want to sort of lower it down a bit. And if it doesn't work initially, try changing one of these ports here, 1 to 4. And also you have the old Photon Engines here, version 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now version 1, that's the one I did in my last review. That was the default one, it was the only one there was. And then in version 3.0, 2 of these were added, and in version 4.0, number 4 was added. So you can run a diagnostic on your device, you can do local access, you can do the type of tabs you want, you can send links to the pages, you can put on private browsing. It's basically Safari with Flash, and a bit more customization. As you can see, I've got red rather than blue on my user interface. So I'm just going to pop into Google quickly and then I'll activate the Flash player and we'll get going. So we go to Google, there we go. So this is just, as you'd expect, it's the standard mobile version. So if I put the Flash on, you can see Google zooms out a lot, and if I turn on the trackpad, you can actually see there's a little mouse that I can move around and click on things, and I can invoke the keyboard if it doesn't pop up automatically using this button here, then tab to get rid of it. That's the full screen mode, that's the tabs along there, that's the refresh button, that's to go back to standard browsing in the bottom right, that's the switch between the mouse, the dragging, the touch mode. So I use the mouse mode most of the time, this one here. Then you have the settings icon and the back and forward buttons. So I'm going to open a new tab and it will go to apps first, that's the default, and close it again. See, it's very simple. Just like the iOS browser on the iPad, but obviously the iPhone still uses pages rather than tabs. So I'm going to go to the Nissan website first. Now you can see it's recommending the mobile one because I'm using a mobile phone, but I'm not going to bother with that. Also, this is an iPhone 5. I have upgraded since my last video, so this is going to be a bit faster than my old iPhone. If you look really carefully, you can see the animations are pretty smooth compared to the previous version of this. So I just want to click there, and you'd actually have to click where the mouse is. As you can see, I can put my finger over here, and it will still go around where it was. I can tap here, and wherever the mouse is where it will click. So then what I can do is I can use 2 fingers like this, and that will scroll, but there is no scrolling on this page currently. It's too small. So I'm going to go now. That was just to demonstrate it quickly. Now I'm actually going to go to the website I used last time, which was Voxel. And because it uses the built-in iOS keyboard, you can use Siri dictation, but I'm not going to use that. As you can see, it's playing a Flash video. Very nice, very smooth. And I believe that's the Adam, or the Adam, I don't know what they call it, to be honest. I've not looked into that car, even though I am quite a car fan. So you can see I'm using 2 fingers to move along. I'm going to go into Vehicles. I'm going to go into the Safira Tourer page. If I click on More Info, there should be a link to a sort of promotional separate website which has loads of Flash content. You can see here's another video. And you see it's a little bit choppy. This is quite a demanding website, but it's just, I'm trying to put the most I can onto the phone, and this has been the most demanding. So obviously you could lower the bandwidth setting, but I'm not going to do that because I don't need to. It wouldn't be any better for me. So as you see, it's playing nicely, it's acceptable, it's not as smooth as it would be on a computer, and I will compare them in a minute. I've got a Macbook which I will use to compare it in a moment. So just scroll down and you can just go to the options here. Okay, actually I think the promotional website link is gone. Okay, it doesn't matter. So yeah, you can see the video playing, it's not too bad. And what I'll do now is I'll grab my MacBook, I'll boot it up, and then I will continue the filming and I'll actually compare it to this. Now just so you know also, the update released is that when you would actually leave the app like that, even if you didn't close it in multitasking, it would deactivate the flash when you went back in. But now it stays on when you go back in, so that's a nice little improvement. I'm glad they did that. So if I turn it off now, yeah, you can see I'm just back at the standard website, there's no video playing. So I'll go and get the MacBook and then I'll compare it. Okay, so here at my MacBook, and I'm going to loot the two websites again that I launched before in Safari, which is the built-in browser of course. I would use Google Chrome, but that was the one that was there quick enough. So if I go into Nissan again, so you can see it is quite a bit faster than the iPhone was, but of course, as I said, the iPhone is only a mobile phone, it's not designed to do this type of thing. It's just that the app was made, and they did do their best efforts. So of course, as I said, there's no scrolling on this website, there's no proper scrolling, so now I'll do the Voxer one again, and we'll see how well those two videos play. That's the cookie policy. And you can see it's much smoother on the actual computer. Now I'm not saying stay away from this, this is just for comparison's sake. I wanted to make a proper video just to show how well the app goes when you compare it to a proper computer. So I'll carry on now to do the final bit again. So we'll watch this video. As you can see, remember when the iPhone throws it completely on this part of the video, this is still playing a very nice frame rate. So it's not actually too much more of a big deal than the iPhone. I would use the iPhone, of course. It's a very nice app that they made, and I can imagine it'd be even better on an iPad. Obviously I don't have an iPad anymore, I have a Nexus 7 and this app is not available for it, so I won't be able to use that. But if you've got an iPad mini, which I've borrowed to film this, or a iPad with Retina display, or a big iPad, whatever, this should be a fairly nice app to use. Of course, as you can see here, the web browser is playing it much smoother, but of course I'm also using a brand new computer. This is a 2012 Macbook Air with 8GB of RAM and the 1.8 GHz i5, so of course an iPhone with only 1GB of RAM and Apple A6 chip is nowhere near as smooth. But of course, the fact that you can actually get Flash Player on the iPhone with Apple actually approving it, that's pretty good. So I am impressed with the app overall, and I believe it is worth the money, especially after the new updates. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.